Well, it is about that time for another powerful information packed episode on Ready, Set, Real Estate. Listen, y'all, we are culminating a decade, and in this decade, I have the honor and privilege to say that I kicked off this wild idea of a show to educate the community. That show then 100 plus episodes, I should say over 300, no, 500 episodes later, um, we are now on radio podcasts everywhere. We now are a brand and a company that educates the general population with real estate education. We train agents and we're doing amazing things. Remember, this show is a proud supporter of Real Estate 100 Youth Foundation, where we seek, teach, and empower youth ages 11 and up with real estate literacy. That's terms, concepts, and careers as an alternate pathway to success. And with that, I say learn more. Listen, you don't have to wait for Giving Tuesday to donate and support. You can send your donations to realestate100youth.org. We accept donations year round. And if you want to just take it to the next level and really get some added real estate gems, is what I like to say, from the show, join as a loyal supporter for just 10 bucks a month. Easily 10 bucks a month. For those of you who are locked in at the 5 bucks a month, you're locked in as long as you continue to be a member. The calendar for the events will be released, and I'm excited about that. I'm so excited. So today I have a very special guest, and I'm really excited about this because it's not an area that I'm familiar with. And you know how I don't need to be, Jane of many, master of none. I stay in my lane, but I do know today's topic is very closely related to real estate. And a lot of you have asked me about this game, the vending business game. And I feel like I brought the man of the hour, the man who's been doing it himself. And shout out to this king here, Kashief Edwards, who is business owner, entrepreneur of the vending biz. Without further ado, Kashief, welcome to the show. How are you, brother? Oh, let me do that again. I'll mute you. All right. How are you?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Oh, fantastic. So let me just get this straight. Are in Philly, right?
Yeah. I'm located in Philadelphia.
All right. So, and I had to ask because my guy Anthony, he's out in Philly. I got a lot of love out in Philly, and I just it just kind of worked out that way when I was trolling. Is that a bad thing? Like, it is a bad thing, right? I mean, I don't know how I honestly can't remember how I was searching and came across your page. I was so impressed and I was so happy to just see you really sharing information to just really put people on. Like, there are very few people that do that. So share with us a bit about how you got into the vending biz game. What is vending machines? First of all, let's down basics. What are vending machines for somebody who's listening on the show and they're like, okay, Lisa's talking about vending machines. But I don't know, because again, our audiences are reached from anywhere from 14 years old and up. And I think you just posted like a young kid who has a
Yeah,
vending machine,
he
right?
was actually 8 years old. The kid I
What?
posted, 8. Yeah, he was 8. But vending machines are anything that vends a product. It like, so the standard traditional machines that we all are familiar with are the machines that you put cash in, you put currency in, and then a snack or a beverage comes out. Like, that's the
Mm-hmm.
traditional way, that we use the vending machines. But there are also other ways you could use them for hair, makeup, other any type of product. People have water machines. You could do, some machines have dispense air, like for like a dryer type of thing. So
Wow.
there are many different kinds of vending machines out there. I always encourage people to think outside the box. Create your own niche, and it will kind of help you grow faster.
Yeah.
Although I only really use traditional machines
Okay.
myself, but I think the creative ones I see a lot of the times are very good, and could make a lot of money. So
So you just shared, you opened up and you said hair. And I was like, huh. So I didn't really think about that. I've seen some creative ones. I haven't seen the hair one. So what, like the tracks maybe or
yeah, so I'm not gonna say tracks. I don't know how to I don't know
right,
how
me
to
neither.
here,
I
but
ain't got no
I
hair.
know I know it's weave. I know
Okay.
that. So I
For the
know it's
weave.
if people have weave machines, whatever those bundles or whatever that is, they have
Right. The
machines. So
bundle. The
yeah,
bundle.
they have those in there, and then you put the cash in, and it dispenses that product.
Wow, look at that. And you know what? We as a people of color, we are highly very creative, I think. So we could come up with pretty much anything to sell out of a machine. So yeah. What have you found? And I want to jump into, you said as young as 8 years old, but for you, what's been your background? How long have you been in the business? And I know you have an ebook and you have a course and just I think you offered, I don't know if you're still doing that. I saw you were doing mentorship. So I want to touch on all that, but just give us like, how you just jumped into this game. Like what was your minimum investment, your first machine? And tell us, maybe some bumps along the way that you learned and was like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that again.
Yeah. So basically, a little bit of my background is I played basketball coming
Okay.
up. I was a Division 1 athlete. I was one of the top like players in my area. So I spent a lot of times in gyms, like during my younger ages. So and during my
Yeah.
times in those gyms, they always had vending machines in them. So
Right.
I was always kind of a young entrepreneur. I used to sell like waters and candy and different things like that. Just growing up. So I always watched whenever they service the machines, and I will always see them pull a lot of money out of the machine. So I was just wondering like how much money is in there. And then I was always, see people come back and forth and use the machines and use the machines. In the back of my mind, after a few years of seeing that, I always thought like I want one of those machines. Like so, and then as I got older, I graduated. I went to Niagara University,
Uh-huh.
and I went to Northeastern University, which is in Boston. So I got done with school, started working, and then it's just like, all right, well, I'll need extra money. So I
Yeah.
started actually using. I was looking for something passive. I really wasn't trying to get out of my job at that point. I just wanted something extra on the side, but that I didn't have to do like overtime and all that type of
Right.
stuff. So I invested in gumball machines.
Okay.
So the machines that you see, you put a quarter in, and you
Yeah.
turn it, and the candy comes out. So I started off with four of those. I brought four of those for around, I think it was like $80 or something like that.
Wow.
Um, and then I placed them. I placed one in the recreation center. I had one in the barber shop. And I don't remember what the other one was in, like a department store and somewhere else. I think it was like a furniture store. But so I placed those. Those did well. I took that money, reinvested, brought some more, and I did it up until I had 20 machines, 20 of those little gumball machines.
Okay,
So
hold on. Time out, time out. Because you touched on so much right now, especially because people know what we do on this platform. I do have a daily show called Shift Your Thinking that we run and we talk about personal development. You said something so huge that I wanted to patiently wait to extrapolate this out, extract this. You said something very key. You said, as I was playing basketball, some of you clearly love doing, you said, I saw the machine. I wonder how much money is in there, right? So this concept of it started with this idea, this thought. One, the second thing you said, you declared to self, I want one of those machines. And for those of you who are listening, I again, I cannot. Oh man, I just cannot express how that is so important. When I opened the show, you guys heard me say this show was a wild idea for me, and I'm like hundreds of episodes later. It's now a brand, it's a company, it's a business that I operate and I run. And you hear this brother say the same thing. Like, I had this idea, and not, and I'm sure, like you said, you weren't looking to retire your job or replace your income. You said, I'm just looking for something extra. I need some money.
Right.
Oh, four gumball. This is gonna be the best story of the year already. I feel it. Like, this was the best way to go out. 4 gumball machines to 20 machines. Okay, I'm
Right.
listening. I'm ready. Go for it.
All right. So at that point, like, so the gumball machines really only averaged around like a good spot was like $50 location, like, for a month. But it was like extremely passive. So
Yeah.
at that, when I had the machines a month, I probably was bringing in around $1,000. But I really only had to do only thing I really had to do was go put the candy in the machine and pick up the money at the end of the month. So once a month, I just did that. Right. So, but
Wow.
one of the guys I was buying the machines from was like, hey, why don't you just buy vending machines? And
Mm,
that's when it came back up in my mind, because at the first time I thought about that, I was only like 16, 15, something like that, when I was in high school. So when he said that, I was like, yeah, maybe I should. So he had a vending machine for sale for like $1,000. He said he'll give it to me for 900. So I was like, all right, if I can find a place to put it, I'll get one.
right.
So I ended up finding a motel, which was a real bad, like, it was a dangerous spot.
Okay.
It was known to be a dangerous spot, but I was kind of from that neighborhood, so I was kind
Yeah.
of comfortable in the spot.
As most
So
of us are.
right, so I went here and I talked to them, and I got them to okay the machine to be in there.
Nice.
All right, so at that point, I put that machine in that place. Now, what made this place good, which I didn't know at that time, I just was kind of winging it. It made this place good because it was always super busy. It was a lot of people in and out of the place. It
Mm,
was isolated. There was no other stores and stuff around there.
wow.
And it was always open because they don't have any hours. It's a motel, like, it's 24/7.
Right.
Right. So it made it a ideal spot for a machine. So when I put it in there, like, the first week I might have only did like $25, but after every week it just increased, and to the point, by the time I got to like my second month, I was making about $600 that month
Wow.
off of that machine. So which was great, because with the other little candy dispensers, it took me a month to get $1,000 from 20 of them. So at
So
that
you
point,
were still, so you still doing gumball machines, and now you added the traditional snack machine, right?
right, it was a soda machine, yeah.
Oh, okay,
So
soda. Okay.
I added this traditional soda machine. And then once I seen that 600 come back, I was like, all right, I'm going with this. Like, so I sold my gumball route, and I brought another vending machine. I brought a snack machine. I put it in the same place, right? And then that machine did the same thing. Talked to some more people. I got okay to put the machines into a school. So I put
Oh,
2 machines in a high school, and then, so on and so forth. I repeated that process. That's the same exact thing I did with the gumball machine. So I reinvested, brought more and more, until I got to where I'm at today. So that's
so
pretty much it.
and so let's talk about this in terms of, did it require you to take some finance class to learn how to reinvest the money?
No, but
No.
I just knew, like, if I took the money and spent it, then it's like, all right, it's going to take me forever I know if I reinvest it, I can make more money. Like,
There it
based
is.
off of what I was seeing, my return was, I was like, all right, if I take this, I can get more. From my experience with the other, with the other little machines, I just kind of know that was the best way to go about it.
Right. And so were you keeping track then? And uh-oh, looks like we lost him. We'll wait till he comes. Are you there?
I'm sorry, it's a phone call.
Oh,
Hold on. Can
so
you see me?
yeah, I can see you.
Hold on. I can't hear you.
Uh-oh, you might need to reset. So Kashief might have to reset. Um, I'll ask him to reset.
I still can't hear you if you're talking.
Yeah. Let's see if he'll reset. So let me ask him to reset, you guys. Log back in. I'm going to ask him to log back in because he can't hear me. But this
I
was
can't
getting
hear.
good. Reset.
A reset?
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have him come back shortly. All right, so we're on. Thank you guys for tuning in live. This is the thing when we do live, so bear with us. He was getting a phone call. We're on with guest Kashief Edwards. He is the owner and I mean, just a trending influencer right now in the vending machine world. And so if you want to learn more, check out the link below in the caption, link his link tree. You can definitely follow him on Instagram. He's on at the_vending_biz. That's BIZZ. And so, oh, I've got him back. Let me bring him back in. Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, great. Yeah, it's sometimes I've noticed, like if you get a call or something like that, it'll like kick it off. So you said no. So as I was saying, you guys, we're on with Kashief. He is in the vending machine business, and what a great way. Listen, I'm excited. This is a great way to just kind of wrap up 2019, as a lot of you guys have been asking, like, how do I get in the real estate game? How do I make extra money? Listen, this brother's he's in real estate. He's making extra money, and it's not taking a very large investment. We just started out with his story where he started with gumball machines, went from 4 gumball machines to 20 gumball machines, where it was cash flowing. You said $1,000. You put the gum in, and you went and picked up money. That I can't wait to share with this story with my son. My son is 8 years old, and he's always painting every single gumball machine. He's like, Mom, I mean, from the little toy to the gum. I mean, and it's funny because it's the smallest things, right?
Right.
You got to know your market. So I wanted to ask you this. When you started, were you tracking your inventory?
No.
Good. Okay.
I wasn't. I was more so just when I started, I was just more so just doing it, just like I said, just for the income. So I really didn't track inventory. I didn't even really track, exactly my sales at that point. I just would count the money, but the actual money I take out the machine is different than the actual sales, because your sales will be higher than the money you take from the machine because of the coins and whatnot. A lot of the coins stay in the machine, like in the actual coin mechanism.
Okay.
And things like that. So it not until later on when I actually started to track everything. Once I started growing, I started, keeping track. And
right. So I want to ask you that so people can really understand this process. At what point did you feel there was growth that you said, look, I now need to have a spreadsheet? Like what point was that for you?
when it became too much. So when it
too much.
When it became too much, I was like, all right, I gotta get more organized here, because it was like stuff just started, like the money was like confusing, and then like the products, I had to figure out a better way to streamline it, so to speak, because it could be time consuming if it's not, because you'll have to keep running back and forth to the store to get more products, to get this and get that, versus if you know exactly what your route. When I say route, your machines, the products in your machines, if you know what it requires already, you can get all that stuff in one go. Versus if you don't really know what you need for that month, you're going to have to keep going back and forth and back and forth.
I don't know. So something just came to me, and I don't know if you're doing, like, you have an entire curriculum and program. Like, I feel like we need to do something, because this right here, what you're talking about is what we call STEAM, right? So the science, what is it? The science, tech, the engineering, the arts, and the mathematics. And kids, this would change a child's life if you knew this at 16, right? Like, you imagine, like, you would know inventory, how to operate, how to streamline. This could really change someone's life. And I'm just listen, I just really feel just honored, and I'm just supporting you. So we'll talk more offline to build. It just came to me because you just talked about so much right now, and I'm thinking about our youth who are always thinking about ways to make money, and this is an ideal way for them to fundraise and help somebody, invest in them, buy a machine, and give them something to do, like learn their route, right? This is the
Right.
paperboard route turned vending machine route.
Right. Exactly.
I love
Exactly.
this. I love this. Okay, so you said when it got too much, you learned how to streamline. Now, talk to us about the responsibility you had. So these are your machines. Did
Mhm.
you have, your technician, or were you the technician? Are you the technician? Um,
So in the beginning, I had so one thing I teach like in the course and just talking about on my page um is if you're going to go and do this to grow a business,
yeah.
I recommend getting your machines from a consistent source. So I use a vending machine warehouse. They
Ah,
have tons of machines in there. I use probably about 2 or 3 of them. And when you use those, you can always go back to them and say, "Hey, this is happening with the machine. What do you
okay.
think is wrong with it?"
Got it.
So they could talk you through fixing it, or they could send somebody out to fix it for you. You have to pay them, or they have different resources as far as parts. Whereas if you're just looking for a quick side hustle, you could just get one offline for a few $100s. When I first started, I would call the person I got the machine from and ask them, and I would watch what they did, and then that next time that problem occurred, now I could do it myself. So it was over time I'll just learn how to fix them just from watching the other people fix them, and for the most part, it's always the same thing. So it's not really
Mm,
it's on a vending machine is not really complicated in terms of operation. Like it's
okay.
only going to accept dollars, accept coins, and then dispense products. And then on the bottom, and then for the actual soda machines, it's going to it has a compressor at the bottom, which is the only difference. So the compressor is a whole different ball game, but for the most part, it's not too complicated.
Right, right. It doesn't sound complicated either. Like I get it, right? There's the in, the out, and the mechanisms. And I don't want to oversimplify it. So what I'm hearing is something that, there's low investment, initial investment, and then of course, the investment on the inventory, depending on what product people are choosing. And then understanding how long that inventory is going to last in on that route, right?
Right, right.
So
That's the thing.
here's the question. So when the machine runs out, are the people at the location calling you saying your snacks are out? Or are you going out? Or how does that work?
Um, hold on 1 second, okay?
Go for it.
1 quick second.
We are on with Kashief Edwards. He's our guest today. We are talking about vending machines. And I'm happy that he opened up some time. We are broadcasting live Eastern time. And, so it's early, very early Western, over here on the Pacific Coast time. Uh, but I wanted to make sure we caught him in his day so he can share with us and drop some gems. Go for it. You good?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay.
So it was that question one more time. I'm
So
sorry, I didn't
yeah,
hear.
so yeah, when the machines are low on inventory or you run
Okay,
out, are people
I got you.
calling or are you checking?
No, so I'm checking. So now
Okay.
it gets better with technology, but for the most part,
Oh,
if it's low, what I do is I go once a week. I go once a week to my locations to see what they need, and that's how I keep up with it. Now, when you have card readers and whatnot, the card
mhm.
readers can actually send you a report of what you're missing out of the machine. So it would tell you before you even leave the house. It's going to tell you what you're missing out of the machine, so you can know what to bring in.
Wow.
All right,
I
so that
like
type of
it. So
software
the
makes
card reader is built in, and of course it's counting, every time somebody's paying, it's counting.
right.
And
It's
so
counting. It's counting what it dispenses.
so tell me about the card reader. So is this something that comes with the machine? You have to invest and put it in. It's built in. Talk to us about that, because I think that's again, I just said it is STEAM. This whole technology is that's
Yeah.
the engineering part. Go ahead.
So card readers. So you can have an older machine and have a card reader installed on it. The newer machines are actually made to accept the
Mhm.
card readers. Now, card readers are usually they're additional costs. They're sold separately from the machines.
Okay.
Unless, but If you get a machine that was already equipped with one, you know, they'll just include the cost onto it. But you know, they manufacturing wise, they don't come with the card readers on there.
Got
The
it.
card readers are a separate company.
Okay. So, and then is it something like you subscribing in terms of getting the card reader? It's just that one time you pay for it one time and it's that's how it's set up for you, or you set
So
it.
they have different programs.
Okay.
I buy mine. I think just to get it over with. But
Right.
you can also rent them. So you can rent a card reader too, and
Okay.
then you just pay monthly until you're done using it. But I think it's best to buy it if you can flat out buy it. It costs around $400
Okay.
to buy a card reader, and then it comes with the software. You would have to upgrade the software for it to give you the reports back.
And you, again, I'm just going to keep asking, did you have to go to school to learn how to read the software and the card reader? Because I want people to realize you can get in this and learn this stuff like you're learning how to do it. I mean,
Right. I think that's what stops a lot of people from doing a lot. Like not even just with the vending machines. It's just like they're scared of what they don't know. It's like they stop themselves. So I just focus on, you know, learning new stuff. I like learning new stuff. So, and I'm a good learner. So I didn't go to school for any of this stuff. I didn't go to school for to learn how to fix the machines or for programming, anything like that. I just watched other people do it. Worst case scenario, I'll go on YouTube and find anything. So
there it is, YouTube
right,
University, which is where we
up.
are. If somebody's going to be watching this and hearing the questions I ask, because I'm totally green. So the questions I'm asking is because I have no clue how this works. So I want to know, like, okay, does it come with a card reader? Do I have to license it? Do I have to, you just said rent it. Go ahead.
That's a very good question. I mean, and honestly, that kind of what happened with the page was that vending machine page on Instagram is I had a friend. I tried to make that page before, but I really didn't know what to put on it because in my mind it was just like it's something that I've been doing. So it's like simple, like you buy the machine, you place it, like. But I had a friend who moved, who had some money he wanted to invest, and he wanted to move here, and start a vending machine business. You know, like I was doing.
Right.
So he moved down, and then from the stuff that he was asking, it kind of helped me build my content of what I actually put on the page. Like that's just all the stuff that he was asking and the questions that he was asking. So I just figured, all right, well, these are probably the questions that people want to know, because I will always get people coming up to me asking me how did you start, you know, the business, or how do you do this, or how do you do that. So, you know, I just thought it'd be good to put it out there, and then it kind of grew like really fast. So.
Yeah, it's grown very fast. You're pretty popular over there on IG. And I mean, again, let me say this. I want to say this publicly because this brother, I said to him, and I qualify this with all my guests. So I invite people on and I say, hey, we'll talk about what you do. We'll, share as much as you're willing to share. Of course, I don't expect you to give all your information away. And this brother said to me, he said, I don't mind sharing or giving it away. He said it's all out there. And I appreciate people like that. So I just want to say thank you for saying that, because there aren't a lot of people that are willing to share.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy, and it's not even like helping somebody out will hurt you necessarily. Like, you know,
Exactly.
it gets shine together. Like I had one guy inbox me like, it was somebody I went to high school with. You know, he does real estate actually. He's in the flipping houses. He was like, hey man, teach me your secrets and I'll teach you mine. I don't really have secrets. Like if people ask me how to do something, I'll tell them how to do it. You know, it's this. You know, I'll put the information out there. I know when I sell my products and that type of thing, it's just packaged together neatly for people, you know, to make it easier for them to find. That's
to
all.
make it easier. Absolutely. Yeah. And so I wanted to ask, so let's jump into, you talked about the motel and the location and the traffic. Let's expand on location, because I think this is real estate. What you talked about, you described how we invest and identify the best properties. Now, do the people who you negotiate installing or placing a machine know how to charge you based on their location? Did that make sense? Like, for example, I know if a house in a certain area, you know, it's local, it's so local to the market center, it's close to transportation, that property is going to end up costing me more than a property that's further out.
Right.
Is it the same for, someone who holds a location and you want to put your machine there? Are they saying, do they care? Do they know? Does it matter to them?
So I understand what you're saying. It doesn't matter in that sense, because what matters is that when it comes to actual like the commission and that type of thing, it
Okay.
matters. What matters is the size. Usually, from my experience, what matters is the size of the size of that company. So when
Okay.
I'm dealing with like larger companies, I think like the biggest company I have is it's like it's a place that researches like some type of blood or disease or whatever. I'm not even
So a
going
lab, maybe a
yeah,
lab
it's like,
company.
it's like a large lab, like, but it's a
Okay.
big building.
Okay.
So places like that, they just want your service. Like they don't really ask for commission. They just want quality service for their employees.
Mm,
Whereas you're dealing with a smaller location, I might be dealing with like a rec center or something like that.
right.
They will want a commission because they're probably more so looking for different income sources and funding for whatever programs that they have going on in that, in that establishment. But the bigger the company, they don't really care about commission. It's only really the smaller places that ask for commission.
Got it.
And another side note to that is the trick to avoiding commission, and from my experience, is if they contact you, if you set your business up in a way where they find you, they
Mm,
don't ask for commission because they just want the service.
got it. Okay.
Versus if you go to them and say, hey, can I put a machine in here? And they like, all right, well, what do we get out of letting you put a machine in here? And that's when we say we'll give you a commission.
Got it. Got it. And so what do the commissions range? What is there? I'm saying range. I don't want to say average because I'm in an industry where commissions are negotiable.
Right. Right.
So what have you
The
seen?
the lowest I've seen is 5%. The highest I've seen is 20. I stick around 10%. I don't like going past 10% commission. If it's like, I know myself personally haven't gone past 10, but I know a bigger company that I work with, they get like hospitals and that type of stuff. And they pay those places 20%, but that's really worth it, because if you get a hospital, especially a major hospital, you'll make a very large amount of money. So paying them 20% is, is worth that.
Wow. So I mean, so now let's talk about presentation. Um, because now you're talking about from recs to hospitals to lab companies. I mean, how do you present that so that a large company, people may want to go for the big business, and but it's okay. Listen, y'all, it's okay to start small. You can start with a lot of small mom and pop places. We all need snacks in our products as well, like you said, services. Um, is there a difference in presentation or proposal that would attract a larger company to accept you into installing the machine?
That's a very good question. Yes, it is. So the main difference is what I call your presence. Like, so your
Mm,
actual social presence, like not the actual meeting with them, but like,
okay.
so if you have a professional website, I
Ah,
have an answering service that I use. It's through a company called Grasshopper. And
okay.
it only, so when they call it, it doesn't go straight to my phone. It goes to my answering service. And then they have an option of what else, whatever service they need. If they're looking for a vending machine, if they're looking for sales or something, whatever it is, it gives them that option. And it all comes to my cell phone. It just comes in different ways.
I
So my
love
phone,
that. Listen, y'all, see, we got to use
my phone
technology.
would tell me like what they're looking for, and it's going to tell me it's a business call. So this presenting yourself in a certain way helps you get those locations. Now,
Mm,
with the bigger locations, all they really do is they're going to, when they need service, they're just going to Google search. They're going to go on Google, vending machine service Philadelphia, and then those ones who are actually popping up at the top, they're just going to click on one of those and pick up the phone, call. So if you can make it at like when you Google search vending machines in Philadelphia, vending machine service, Miles is one of the ones at the top.
mm,
So you just click, and somebody clicks on that and calls, boom, that's usually a bigger spot.
got
So this, and then when they call, they actually get the event, they get the answering service and everything. So it's real professional. versus if you didn't have a website and you were just going there and using your regular cell phone number and you might be answering, you don't know it's a business call, that type of thing. Like, it just comes off more professional when it helps you land those bigger locations.
Listen, that was a gem right there, you guys. Presence is everything. How you are presenting, how you do your proposal, presentations. This is so
Right.
key. And do you share that? Do you have templates that you offer in terms of
Yeah.
your course and how to get that, how to get the site or where to go, and like you just shared with us?
Yeah. So I actually do. I sell I have a website service for people who want this site. I'll just put
Oh,
them through the actual people that I use to build mines.
perfect.
Um, and then we also sell like the contracts we use, the actual business proposals. So the hard part is getting your foot in the door. Once you get in there, it's easier. You just come in there, you prepare, you dress professionally. If you don't have your logo, a shirt with your logo and everything on it yet, just make sure you wear something, a professional attire, and come with your business proposal in hand, and make sure you know all of your numbers and know what you're looking for from the location. So I do sell the things to help you do that. It's a assessment sheet,
Hmm.
and that basically you check off the things that you're looking for from that spot. You want to make sure the machine is in the right place. It's enough staff, it's enough foot traffic, that type of thing. And then we have our proposal, which that's for the actual person you're meeting with, and it's just a binder with the products you offer, the prices of the products, and a little bit about yourself and the company.
So that's so awesome. That's a lot of value, you guys. I'm actually getting his link right now so I can drop it in the comments. That way you have it. If you catch this on the replay, go ahead and hashtag replay so we know you're tuning in and just getting getting this information. So he does have a link tree with tons of options. And I think that's great. So I wanted to ask you, and I think that's great. Someone who's not feeling so confident, do you offer, that extra support or consulting to actually show up with someone on an appointment?
Yes. So actually, it's something new that I'm doing. I'm doing a mentor service. I have 5 mentees right now.
Of course you do. Listen, you have a lot more.
Yeah, I could have more. I'm only accepted 5 though. I'm testing it
Oh,
out. Seeing how it goes. So I have 5 mentees signed up, and I'm going to be helping them get that business started. I also do have if somebody wants to do call, like I get a lot of people that call me, all the time about trying to ask about the different the vending questions and whatnot. But I don't really do the phone call thing. But if you do want to schedule a call with me, I do have that on my site. It's a paid service, so I do that sometimes. But for the most part, a lot of the information is online. But for people who actually want to be walked through that process, I do have those services as well.
good. And I that comes natural. And I say that because I know where when you know how to do something and you said that, which is why it's the same reason I do my show. My industry, the real estate industry, takes for granted what we do and what we know. We think people know the language, what we do. And so when we're like sitting with people and consulting, we think like, yo, yeah, oh yeah, this wire the money, the contract, da, 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 da. And same with you, you're like, I do this all the time and not realizing people are like, well, wait, where do I get the machine from? Well, what do I do when it's broken? How do I know when it's going to run out? So we talked about commissions. We talked about card readers. We talked about presentations. We talk about locations, you guys, small and large. Um, Kashief, this brother right here is, I think, is a just a blessing and a resource. And for those of you who are looking, and I know he said he's only got 5 right now. He's taking 5 at a time. I get it because I'm the same way. I have a wait list for my program as well, because otherwise you burn out and then other things start to, falter. And he's still running a business, so, and a family. So
Yeah, that part.
a family. And how old is your son? I saw a post. Do you have just one son, or do you have
I have 2 sons and a daughter.
got
So
it. So he's teenager.
I have a 3-year old, a 13-year old, and an 8-year old. So my youngest son is 3, my daughter is 8, and my oldest son is 13.
Got it. And I brought that up because I saw you're like me, I getting the kids early in the game, teach them early, let them understand what we do. What do your sons think about what you do? Are they like, this is pretty cool? Like, Dad, can we get those sodas? Are they trying to get your snacks?
Oh man, yeah, I got to lock the snacks up. They'll try to get those snacks. So they do that. That's the first thing when I first started doing the business, and I found a lot of stuff missing. So when you talk about inventory, that was the thing. So I lock it all up now. They can't get to it. And we just actually recently got a warehouse, so I put some of the stuff in the warehouse.
Wow.
Yeah, so they definitely I teach them as much as possible. I just want them to learn, entrepreneurship. I want them to learn just how money works and that type of thing. I don't feel like they get that out of school. I know I personally didn't. I didn't even know what credit was until like after college and all that type of stuff. So I try to teach them those things, and it took me a while to learn early on so they can be in a better position, when they get in my age.
Absolutely.
Their mom actually has a her own business as well that's really doing good. So they pretty much help both of us, between the two of us. She sells natural organic like beard products and
beard products, right?
In general. So they kind of go back and forth. My daughter has a real entrepreneurial spirit. I know she's going to do something with that. She's asking me to start her own product line as well. So I'll probably help her with that this summer.
That is amazing. Get her going. That is amazing. I feel like we've covered on a good amount, and depending on the questions, I mean, there were some people that already, like when I shared it last night, reached out and was like, hey, when is he coming on? And so I'm sure you'll have some people to check out your links. And we definitely want to support you in any way we can. Listen, you guys, check him out on Instagram at _vending_biz. That's BIZZ. That's 2 Z's. And he's got a link in his bio that offers ways to subscribe, to get the ebook, get his mastermind class, and just learn the world of the vending business game. And Kashief, I want to, as we get ready to wrap up, it's been really fun, and I just really I appreciate your humble spirit. You just seem like a real cool guy, man. And I just really want to say I want so much success for you. I want your business to grow so much that all you have to do is consulting and not touch not one machine again.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. So with that being said, what are your share with us some last gems or remarks for the people who are thinking?
So, I know when some people get really excited and they want to move forward with this, the first thing they do is they go out and buy a machine. Don't do that. So now every location has a different need. So you might buy the wrong machine. They might already have a sack machine. They might already have a soda machine. So you might, be wasting your money. Another thing is every machine doesn't fit in every spot. We have large locations that have small doorways that we have to put small machines in. So it's always best to get your paperwork in order, find a location first, and then go out and buy the machine. And then the last thing I would just, a piece of, I guess, positivity I'll throw out there is this, don't worry about failure. You only got to be right once. Just get it right one time and you're good. So, just take that chance.
I love that one. Thank you for that. I received that too. You only have to get it right once. Listen, y'all, this has been really fun. Kashief, thank you for coming on the show. We'll definitely stay in contact because I think there's so much more opportunities in terms of speaking, consulting, and just reaching out to the youth community. That's a great opportunity for you to expand, expand your business in terms of, consulting and being an expert, because it's such a rarity right now to even think of the vending machine as something that fits in the STEAM movement. And it's such a movement. It's a $1 million, if not $1 billion industry right now, as that continues to grow. And something like this needs to definitely get connected with some of the communities. And you already have the expertise, the experience. You already created books and masterclass And it's just you having now just a different audience that you say, hey, can I come in and talk to the youth and get your class in there? All right. With that being said, you guys, make sure you subscribe to the show. Let someone know what we're doing. Tag, share, repost, and let us know what you think about today's episode. If there were any gems that were dropped today that you know you could actually use in your business, I ask you to let Kashief know. Let him know, and make sure you follow him on Instagram at the vending underscore biz. And remember to support our nonprofit Real Estate 100 Youth Foundation. All right, you guys, we are